When one person says to another, "What do you think about the Jews?" how should you answer? Maybe you believe the old saying, a Jewish person always answers a question with a question. There are, and perhaps always have been, a myriad questions and prejudices associated with what it means to be Jewish. Here today, in the German capital of Berlin, the Jewish Museum has set out to try and answer just a few of these questions.
As you might expect, the exhibition gathers together all kinds of cult symbols of Jewishness, from headgear to kosher Coca-Cola to the Star of David, and even a menorah belonging to the legendary Sammy Davis Jr. It also asks questions which seek a response in the visitor.
For example, are you beautiful, intelligent, influential, fond of animals, business savvy, fond of animals?
Aside from generalizations or stereotypes, something that definitely seems true is that Jewish people have a sense of humor. Work here by comedians like Larry David and Sarah Silverman are shown as part of a long tradition of ironic takes on Jewish life.
One of the most controversial aspects of The Whole Truth is an exhibit which has been dubbed The Jew in a Box. Here, visitors are invited to interact with a live Jew on display inside a Perspex case.
I spoke to today's live Jewish exhibit inside the showcase, Ido Porat.
Usually the questions coming for something that people inspired here in the exhibition. They talk about, somebody asked what happened to a Jew that's converted to another religion. Some kid asked if they can make now jokes about the Holocaust. Some other ask some halacha question about the religion. So it's all coming from the exhibition, and then usually it's continued to dialogue, what I'm doing here in Israeli, how I arrived here, and they tell me about that story with Israel they want to visit or something like this. So it starts quite normal and get usually to a more deeper dialogue.
I asked exhibition curator Michael Friedlander what she made of some of the negative comments surrounding the showcase.
Now that the exhibition has been running for a few weeks, we have a lot of experience and we can see what actually happens. And what we've seen is that there's an incredible dynamic that develops between the person sitting in the showcase and the people who come and visit the exhibition. It's always a little bit rough at the beginning, but when it starts going, there are wonderful conversations that take place. People exchange telephone numbers. There are people who climb into the showcase and sit next to the visitor. They reverse positions. And in fact, we've had only positive experiences.
And what about some of the questions that visitors ask?
Most of the questions that are being asked are not questions that Jewish people are not asked in their general daily life anyway when they meet somebody non-Jewish, so it's not actually a strange situation. Because if you're a Jewish person in Germany and people who are not Jewish find out that you are Jewish, they inevitably ask these same questions. So it's just a transfer of normal life just into an exhibition situation.
What do you think about this showcase exhibit?
Fascinating. I'm missing, though, the German in the box. I have a few questions myself as a Jewish person as to what it's like to be a German in Germany today. I'd like to know what that's like, and what their superstitions are and their experiences. I'd like to ask a lot of the questions that are being framed as Jewish questions as German questions.
It was interesting, fun, and also relaxing, and to learn more about certain things.
One other unusual aspect of the exhibition is work by local artist Daniel Josefsson. The so-called Unifaith fragrance won awards for its scent. Photographs on display seem to suggest intentions to spread peaceful thoughts across the world via billions of people smelling of perhaps not the most catchily named Moselbut Jew Christ Hin Dao.
Whatever you might make of who the Jewish people are, this exhibition, even if it asks more questions than it answers, certainly forces you to engage with it in playful, provocative terms. I'm going to leave a message here on this wall, along with those written by the thousands of other visitors to the exhibition.
Patrick Evans for JN1 in Berlin.